Hello, here we are with a tutorial how to create a custom Ethereum address and score yourself a girlfriend. You know, I know it worked for me until I showed her my private key and then she dashed. You know, those kind of things. You live, you learn, and you move on. Learn from me, learn from my mistakes. Don't show them your private key, and let's get started. So first thing we want to know, what are we going to do in order to create our custom address? Well, we might want to assign a custom prefix, suffix to the address that we can control to, you know, kind of make ourselves cool. You know, I think that's what we're going to do. So essentially what we need to do is we need to define what we want in the front and the back of the address and continually generate addresses until a public key matches what we've defined. So first off, what we need to do is install a way to create these public and private key pairs. So the way we're going to do that is with a node package called ethereumjs-wallet. So ethereumjs-wallet, among other things, allows you to generate public-private key pairs, you know, and be able to use them. So first thing we do, we have a JavaScript file, custom address. We're going to open up a new terminal, install the npm package. Okay, now we're installing the ethereumjs-wallet package. Now we will import it. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is define a prefix and a suffix for our address that we'd like for it to have. So we have to keep in mind that we can do numbers 0 through 9 and letters A, B, C, D, E, F. So anything past that we cannot do. They're not allowed in the hashes. So what we will do first is define, you know, let's say we want the prefix to say ABC, you know, and we want the suffix to say D, right? Then what we can do is we can define the prefix length, right? So let's say prefix length equals prefix length plus 2, right? So the reason we have to add 2 is because of the initial 0x in the public key that is generated by the private key. And the suffix length is just the length of the suffix, nothing special there. All right, to determine whether or not it's been found, we're going to run a while loop on this, so we're going to need to have a flag that determines whether or not to turn off the while loop. We want to keep track of how fast our function runs, so we will create a start time at the beginning of the function call. Now we'll create the while loop. While not has found it, right? So while we haven't found our address, we want to generate new address data, so new public key and a new private key. And the way you do that is with the Ethereum, the ETH wallet package, you want to do something like this. Right. Access the default key, and then you call generate. And we will assign that to an address data variable that we define up here. Okay, now that we have the address data, we're generating it, and now we need to determine if we have a match for our prefix and our suffix. And the way we do that is we can use substrings of the public key in order to determine that. So what we can do is we can get the public key by accessing the address data like this. Right, now we got the public key, and we can grab the prefix that we have for it. So let's say we got the prefix, the temporary prefix and we got it right here, a.substring. And we want to go from 0 to the prefix length, right? We want to just grab those letters so we can compare it, and we're going to do the same thing with the suffix. And we're going to want to do the same thing we did with the prefix for the suffix, right? So what we're going to do, it's a little bit different because we have to get the end of the address. So we're going to do substring from the length of the entire address to the length minus the suffix length. And that way we'll grab the last couple characters of the address. And let's define the pretemp and sufftemp up here. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to check if the pretemp, the prefix, the temporary one we just grabbed from the newly generated address, contains what we've defined up at the top here, the prefix that we want, ABC. And then we will also check if it contains the suffix, temporary contains the suffix that we want. So what we'll do is we'll say if pretemp includes the prefix and pretemp or sufftemp includes the suffix, then we're golden. Okay. All right, let's define A before we move forward. Forgot to do that earlier. Okay, so now once we've matched the prefix and the suffix and the address, we've got exactly what we want. We need to be able to see the private key so that we'll be able to import it in our wallet and use it on the blockchain. So let's let everybody know that we got it. We've succeeded. Let's print out the private key here. And we can access that data by getting get private key string right here. And let's also print out the public key just so I can show you I'm not trying to pull the rug out from under you. I'm not trying to pull one over on you like some people I know. So we get the address string. All right. And now we set has found it to true. Right, we're done. We're out of here. All right, let's track how long this took by calculating what time it is after the function has finished. And now we can say we can console log out the execution time. That's in milliseconds, so we have to divide it by 1,000 to get the seconds. All right, now we're all set. Let's generate an awesome custom address pronto. Theoretically, this could never happen because it's all based on probabilities. All right, here we go. Don't get mad at me if you never get your address. All right, execution time, 5 seconds, right? Public key, we got ABC. It's exactly what we wanted. All right, at the end, we got D. Perfect. I'm about to show my friends, my family, my relatives, my colleagues, my dog, my turtle, my frog. Everybody's about to hear about this. The more characters you add onto the prefix and the suffix, it's just going to exponentially take more time. It's going to get actually unbelievably long. So, proceed with caution. So, we're done. We've got exactly what we want. I hope you guys have fun with this. I'll put a link to the GitHub so you can download it and create your own custom addresses. Whatever funky combinations you guys come up with, I'll be happy to see them. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe.